everyone. A very good morning to all of you. So today we are going to learn about domestic electricity from the lesson when current flows. So children, what do you mean by domestic electricity? It is the electricity which is produced in our houses. So from where do we get this electricity? Have you ever thought of it? Yes, we get the electricity from the electricity produced from the hydroelectric power stations. What do you mean by hydroelectric power? It is the electricity which is produced from the water. We all know that the water is stored in dams which is constructed at huge heights. At a high heights it is constructed. Now look at this picture, children. You can see that the water which is stored in the dams is reaching to the turbine through the penstock pipes. You can see that penstock pipes, it reaches to the turbine and the flowing water has some power. This power will make this turbine to rotate. The rotation of the turbine makes the generator work and thus the electricity is produced, and this electricity reaches to our houses through some distribution centers like transformers, and it will direct it to the electric post and thus it reaches our house and the electric post which is situated at different places. So this is how the electricity reaches in our houses. That is why there is a newspaper clipping in your textbook, that is due to the scarcity of water, the electricity failure will become. So this, without water we cannot produce this electricity. So therefore they are going to do the load shedding, right? So that is the newspaper clippings. So this is the connection between the electricity and the water. The water is producing electricity to the houses. Now, there are situations in which the electricity is wasted. Do you know what are the situations? Yes, you can say that the lights are getting on at the daytime. Some people will not switch off the light. It will just remain there when no one is present in the room. The fans are working without any purpose. No one will be there in the room. So without any purpose, the fans are working. The refrigerators, if you keep open, a lot of electricity will be waste. Then the TV, there are some habit for the children to on the TV and to go anywhere. So no one is listening to the program. So TV is just on. So a lot of energy is wasted over there. And also many situations are there like electric iron, which is used by different persons at different times. If you use it at different times, lot of electricity will be wasted. And another most important is that wasting of water, because as we told earlier, water is necessary for producing electricity to the houses. So losing of water, then putting the light during the daytime. So this all are the situations in which the electricity is wasted. So how can we save the electricity? Use CFL or LED bulbs instead of filament bulbs. Filament bulbs, as you have learned in your lower classes, it takes a lot of heat energy, so that a lot of electricity is wasted. So instead of filament bulbs, use CFL and LED. Then see that the circuit, that is, what is a circuit? It should have a conducting wire, it should have a switch, and it should have a light to glow. That should be perfect. The circuit must be perfect, and if there is any damaged switch or plugs, it should be changed. And always use the electrical appliances having more stars. See, this is the picture you can see in some electrical appliances like AC and all, AC, TV and all. So use such electrical appliances which includes more stars. That why we have to use that? Because a lot of energy is preserved there. The energy consumption is very low if it has lot of stars. So that is why we have to use the electrical appliances having more stars. Now next we are going under the topic electric shock. You know what are the possibilities of electric shock? Yes. That is operating the switch with wet hands. It may lead to electric shock. Then changing the fuse of the electric bulbs without putting the switch off. Even changing, removing and inserting the plug pins. Okay, while the switch is on. That also may lead to electric shock. And see that the circuit is having the proper earthing. The circuit is perfect. So these are the conditions where electric shock is there. Do not operate the switch with wet hands. There are more chances for the person to get electric shock, and always switch off the electrical appliances before you are inserting or removing any plug pins, or if you are changing the fuse of the electric bulbs. So these are the chances of electric shock. So what first aid? What do you mean by first aid, children? The immediate help we are giving to a person who is suffering from some danger before going to the hospital. That is called first aid. So what all are the first aid we have to give when you see a person who has suffered from electric shock? First one only, what you have to do means remove the flow of electricity to the person. You beat him with some stick. You should not touch him. If you touch him, you will also get the electric shock. So you should not touch him. You should remove the flow of electricity to the person by throwing some wooden stick, anything. Then you have to give artificial breathing if necessary. Then rub the body so that the body will become warm. Then if the heartbeat is not beating, put your two hands on the chest and press tightly. Repeat this till the heartbeat starts. So these are the first aids we can give. Even if it is not, nothing is happening when you are giving the first aid, you have to consult a doctor immediately. So these are the first aid given to a victim who has suffered from an electric shock. So this is about today's topic. Today we discussed about how the electricity reaches the house through hydroelectric power stations, and what are the situations in which the electricity is wasted and what we have to do to save the electricity. And also we learned the heading electric shock and the first aid given to electric shock. So this is all about today's topic. So bye children.